Hello and welcome. My name is Randy Gonzalez Jr. I'm excited for you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to watch some information that can change your life. Now, I don't know who you are or what your background is, but I do know one thing, and that one thing is that you're looking. Maybe you're setting some time for yourself and saying, what is the possibilities for me and my family? What could be done to reach this great thing called freedom? Now, maybe you want to a stay-at-home parent and you want to spend more time with your children, great. Maybe you want to take care of your parents. Maybe you want to travel on vacation and do things that are memorable for you and your family. Or maybe you just want to give back to a church or an organization. Whatever the case may be, what you want to do is you want to stay tuned to the end of this information so you can see our complete system on how we do it so you can actually achieve it. We have discovered a way where a person can own their life, meaning they can have the time and money freedom to do what they want, when they want, with who they want, for as long as they want, by building an online business. The system is so simple that anybody can do it. You don't have to be a salesperson because there's no selling required, and the best part is it won't take much time. So you're probably asking yourself, a system that doesn't require any selling of any sort and it doesn't take much time? What is it? Stay tuned because I guarantee you by the time you finish this video, you're going to know exactly what we do and how we do it. Before we go any further, let me go ahead and tell you a little bit about myself and how this system all came about. You see, many years ago, I used to manage one of the largest health clubs in the Valley. And when I was working at the health clubs, I was working a ridiculous amount of hours. I never forgot the day that my daughter actually came to the health club and she walked in the door. She had her little eyes look at me and she looked at me dead on and said, "Dad, I don't even know why I come visit you, because all you ever make me do is go to daycare." She put her head down and walked off. Let me tell you, from that moment, I can still remember as if it was yesterday, air was completely out of my lungs, and I said, I will never, ever hear that again. You see, at the time I was looking for different things how I can take care of me and my family. I even looked at going to dental school, and I said, wow, that'll be great if I can be a dentist, but a lot of the dentists that I came in contact with, they couldn't do extracurricular activities. I like jet skiing and having fun like that, but you see, if they messed up their arm, they were done. I said, well, that's kind of risky. So another thing is, well, what about other traditional businesses? Again, I didn't have a lot of money to invest, nor did I have any mentors, and I heard a lot of percentage of businesses fail within their first couple of years. And it wasn't until I actually connected with a mentor who recommended me an awesome book that changed my life called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I'm telling you, if you haven't had a chance to read it, go out and read it. It'll do wonders for you. That I learned some basic principles that changed my life forever. So Think and Grow Rich, published in 1937, Napoleon Hill, the author, was inspired by the wealthiest man in the world at the time, the steel tycoon Andrew Carnegie, to go out and discover the formula to success and interview the 500 most successful people at that time. People like Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, King Camp Gillette, the founder of the Gillette Razor Company, Roosevelt, and many, many others, to find commonalities and record it and then share it with the masses. This process took 20 years to complete, and the book Think and Grow Rich has been noted for creating more millionaires than any other book, and it has sold over 100 million copies. Now, anyone who's ever read or studied the book understands the power behind Napoleon Hill's most famous phrase, which is this: anything the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Note the word can. You see, how achievement actually occurs is a formula that puts success in the reach of even the average person. Through the 20-year research and interview process, they developed the key principles for success. Let me share with you from the book the 3 main principles all 500 of the successful people interviewed had in common, and these principles are still very much valid today. Our first principle, according to Think and Grow Rich, is OPI, other people's ideas. Do you think Facebook was the first social media platform to keep people connected? Ever heard of MySpace? Or how about Google? Do you think they were the very first search engine in the world? Absolutely not. I'm sure a few of you can recall Netscape. Now that's going way back. You see, the principle clearly explains you don't have to be the smartest person to be successful. You can merely take someone else's idea and become successful with that. The next principle is OPE, stands for other people's efforts. Let's break this down into 2 parts. 3%ers and 97%ers. Most likely, if you're working and it's not your own business, you're considered to be a 97%er, which majority of the population work for the 3%er, meaning the owner. You see, the three percenters capitalize on you for help for creating certain lifestyles for them and their family. J. Paul Getty once said that I'd rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than having 100% of my own. You see, you don't need to be smart, just find people who are. What I found out is that the owner in a working situation has less to worry about than myself. For instance, if we both got sick, the owner has a team to pick up any slack. But if I got sick, however, I have limited time to recover and get back to work before I get behind or replaced. For instance, Walmart, founded by Sam Walton, understood OPE so well, even after his death, has over 2.2 million people working for him and his family. As a result, Walmart is one of the most successful businesses in the world. So it is critically important to have leverage, or also known as OPE, if you ever desire true success. Now, the third and final principle is OPM, other people's money. The book states, despite popular belief, you don't need to have money to become successful. You can simply use someone else's money. You can even get a loan from a bank, family member, or friend, or bring on an investor. Best example, from the hit TV show Shark Tank, where billionaires and millionaire expert investors look to use their own money into entrepreneurs to help them start, grow, or save the business, and then down the road split future profits. Ultimately, the profits from the business pays back the investor, and percentages are split amongst them. Again, if you never read the book Think and Grow Rich, I highly recommend you get it. Now, maybe you've already heard of these principles before or are already using them. Well, congratulations. But what if? What if you're not? And what if you're saying to yourself, well, how can I utilize these principles in my own life? You have to understand there's two types of people. One type of person that actually goes out and creates their own products, and the other type of person is an individual that takes somebody else's idea and product and goes out and markets it. Now again, for those of you that are thinking, hey, I can go out and create my own product, let me tell you first off, it is a huge risk. Number one is a time risk. It's a money risk. It's just a whole wide array of expertise that you may or may not have readily available. And then maybe there's some people that says, what if I can go out and, just market a product like crazy? Well, again, you've got to pick the perfect product to do that. Let me now share with you what my mentor shared with me, how to identify the perfect product. Number one, you must have a product that everybody wants. Number two, you must have a product that everyone needs. Let me give you an example. Let's say you had a vehicle, okay, and do you think that you would have to probably refill it with gasoline when it runs out? Of course you would. It's consumed continuously. Now think about this. What if the car was electric and you didn't need gas? Well, still, you would then need what? Electricity. Number three, price to sell. So for example, it has to be affordable for the average consumer. Number four, price for profit. How profitable are you going to be when the transaction is complete? Is it 1%, 10, 20, 50%? It makes a big difference, so completely understand what the percentage breakdown will be. And then finally, number five, it must be consumable for long-term residual income. So for example, if you were to market a TV, a vacuum cleaner, anything like that, would you have to purchase it again every month, every week, every year? Probably not. A more consumable profit for residual income would be something on the lines of fuel or even food. Now understand this, it's very, very important when choosing the product. And you'll see how our product that we chose meets all five of the criteria. Now that you've clearly identified what the five criteria are, now we need to go out and market it. Now my suggestion to you is once you've found a product that meets all five of the five criteria, get to work immediately and go out there and market it. But understand this, you must know how to market it effectively. Kind of reminds me of an old story back in elementary school. I had a buddy of mine who bought a bunch of candy bars and he says, Randy, I'm going to make some money with this. And I was naive enough to listen to him. I said, great, what's your plan? He goes, I'm going to sell these candy bars for $1. And I said, that's great. How much did you buy them for? He says, I bought them for $1. You see, folks, that is not a very effective way to go out and market and be profitable. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to share with you what my mentor shared with me, how to market effectively. Now let me briefly talk about Marketing 101, also known as traditional marketing. You see, manufacturers, they can make clothes, they can make cars, they can make virtually anything, and what they do is they take 20 to 40% profit from that to actually go and do the research and development, advertising, manufacturing, and so on. And after that, what they do is they send these products to national distributors. And from a national distributor, they pass it on to a regional distributor. And from a regional distributor, it gets passed on to a local distributor, onto a retail distributor, all the ways to the end user leaving the retail store with the bag in hand. You see, most of the profits lie within the distribution channel. As a matter of fact, up to 60% to 80%. So for our example, we're going to use 60%. So here's what happens. What would happen if you were to cut out some of the middleman profit? If you annihilated two of the distribution centers, well, you would have a thing called Walmart. And Walmart actually did really, really well, as you can tell. So there was another company that came around that actually was called Costco. Costco had wholesale distribution, which offered people memberships to actually buy at wholesale rates. Imagine, I'm sure many of you have been to a wholesale place before, and you said, hey, why do I need 20 boxes of toothpaste or 20 boxes of candies so I can save a couple bucks? Well, that's exactly what happens. But did they do any advertising? Not at all. Maybe a friend had invited you to go with them and you liked the fact that you can buy in bulk. But after the second Saturday and you wanted to go again, they said, get your own membership. Until more recent times, how many of you ever heard of a company called Amazon? I'm sure you have. Amazon did some amazing things by cutting out a lot of the distribution channel, which saved the consumer a lot of money. But what if you can get a membership to Amazon and then refer people and get paid for it? Well, we know that's not going to happen, but what if it did? Now, what if I can show you how to put that 60% back into your pocket versus putting it in the middleman's pocket? You see, for our system, we chose an industry called referral marketing. Now, let me show you why. So why referral marketing? Well, usually referral marketing companies have exceptional products because when you're sharing from friend to friends, you don't want to share a bad product. Another thing, you don't need to invest lots of money into advertising or creating tools. See, the companies actually give you websites, they give you a back office, they give you actual catalogs and accounting to go and market the business. You don't need to go out and hire a customer service department. See, one is actually provided for you. So if there is an issue with shipping or handling or anything whatsoever, from a customer standpoint, it's completely done for you. You actually get paid out back to the associates up to 60%, which is pretty cool. You don't need to buy a bunch of product at wholesale, then retail it out. People can get it directly from the website and it's shipped directly to them. You can build a team and acquire a percentage off the team, which is a lot of fun. Now here's a very interesting fact. Catch this. Statistically speaking, 85% of people make their buying decision based upon a recommendation from a friend or somebody close, like a movie, a restaurant, a doctor, a mechanic, even a hotel. We all give and receive recommendations all the time from people that are close to us. And this is the main reason why the industry is rapidly growing and creating huge revenues up to the tunes of 190 billion in revenue, compared to the movie industry, which is raking it at 80 billion. This is why experts like Robert Kiyosaki, Donald Trump swear by this industry that this is the best model and industry hands down to be involved in for the 21st century. Also, by choosing this industry, we had the ability to partner up with the #1 guru in referral marketing. His name is Don Fela. You can definitely Google him and check him out, but just a little bit of his accolades. #1, he's been in the industry for over 48 years. He's also the best-selling author of the highly recommended book, The 45-Second Presentation, which sold over 8.5 million copies in over 20 different languages. Today, his organization is just right under 1 million people, and his volume is about 150 million a year. And here's what he teaches. 100% of the people outside of our industry in the world don't understand what we do. Because if they did, they definitely would be in our industry. And 80 to 90% of the people inside of our industry don't understand what we do, including company owners, which starts to cause massive confusion. And here's why. When company owners want to ultimately expand their business, what do they look for first? They think, well, we've got to get these numbers up, so let's go out and look for salespeople. So they put these different campaigns together, salespeople, salespeople. Now understand this, traditionally speaking, salespeople have had a historically tough time in our industry. Not that they're bad, it's that they first must learn our industry and they could be phenomenal. So what happens is they focus all their energy, all their time and effort to try to find the best salespeople to get those numbers up. One thing we do know for a fact is that 95% of the population is deathly afraid of sales, meaning that only 5% of the population enjoy sales. So when you focus all your energy and efforts to bring some of the best salespeople, you eliminate 95% of the population. Another thing is people sometimes when they're expanding, they lead with the product. I understand this from a health perspective, only 15% of the population is ever into health. And a lot of times people question me and say, well, it's got to be different numbers. Here's what I have them do. You can do it too. Go down to your nearest mall and calculate all the people that are obese. You'll see that that margin is about 15% or less. You see, and this is the main reason why, number one, we don't go out and try to find salespeople. Number two is we don't go out and lead with the product. What we do is we look for people that want something. And in that margin, you'll see that 95% of the population wants something. You see, a parent maybe wants to be a stay-at-home parent and watch their beautiful children grow up. Maybe it's a couple that says, you know what, our parents are getting older, let's give them the best quality of life possible. Maybe it's somebody who says, you know what, I would love to take more vacation time and travel around the world and have meaningful pictures and just different experiences. Or maybe it's someone who wants to give back to a church or organization or something that really inspired them and said, you know what, I would love to donate to this organization to go out and help millions. You see, that's 95% of the population. Even a couch potato wants something. Maybe they have a 17-inch screen TV. Maybe they want to upgrade to a 72-inch screen TV. You see, folks, people want something, and that tune is 95%. The 5% of the population, well, they're already independently wealthy. What we like to do with those is we like to make them lifelong customers. Because they want to look good, they want to live forever, and they want to increase their energy to sustain their life. Another myth that a lot of people have is, you've got to know a lot of people. I've got to know so many people to build myself a large organization. Well, let me show you right now why that is a myth. Do you think together as a team, we can find 5 people that want something? Maybe it's a mom or a dad that wants to stay at home with them and raise their babies. Maybe it's a couple that has never had a chance to go on their dream honeymoon. Or maybe it's just a family who's never taken that family vacation they've been always dreaming of. Maybe it's someone who wants to give back to someone in their family, like their parents, or maybe a contribution to a church or an organization. I know together we can find at least 5 people that want something. So it has been said that if the average person knows a couple hundred people, then think about this. If we knew 5 people that wanted something that had a network of 200 people, that would give us 1,000 people to connect with. Now think about this. When are you going to have time to go out and actually meet new people? All you've got to simply do is make a friend and meet their friends. That's it. It's that simple. Now let's go one step further. Now let's say we help those 5 gather 5 that wanted something as well too. We would then simply have 25. Now if we do the simple math, but we know the average person knew 200 people, we would then have 5,000 people just on the second level. It has been said that it's not hard to meet somebody new, especially if they're introduced to you by somebody that you already know. So if we got introduced to around 6,000 people, first of all, you don't have time to be meeting new people. You're simply making a friend and meeting their friends. That's it. So let's say after the first full year, we would have 125 people, okay? Let's say after the second full year, you would have 625 people. And again, after the third year, you would have over 3,125 people combined, a little under 4,000 people. Now, let's say the average person spent about $100 on stuff that they can actually use, not stuff that they stored in the garage or things that they didn't have no interest in, but something that they can actually use. Well, think about this. This would generate over $390,000 in revenue for the month. But any company out there will guarantee you that you would make at least 10%. This would definitely equate to around $10,000 in passive residual income. So let's take it one step further. Let's say everybody had a mom and a dad that weren't interested at all at referring, but just wanted to be a loyal customer and use these products from somebody like you. Well, that would equate to actually around 8,000 loyal customers. And if they were spending $100 as well, that would equate to over $800,000 in revenue. And again, there's absolutely no cap on the potential of income that you can generate for you and your family. And what did you do to generate 8,000 people that you're getting paid off of? Simply, you gathered 5 serious people that simply wanted something. Now, I'm super excited to actually introduce you to the company that we chose for our system that met all the criteria. And the company is Life Plus. When we were making the ultimate decision of what would be the perfect company to run our system through, we wanted something that everybody can use. We found out that everybody wants to look better. Everybody wants to feel better. Everybody wants to have more energy, strength, and stability, and live longer. And we found the perfect match for our system that met all 5 of the criteria, Life Plus. You see, why Life Plus? Simply, they have some of the most amazing wellness and health products, and it is not something that just got started. As a matter of fact, these products have been designed and integrated in over a 70-year history that showed some stability in the quality of their product. Engineered by the founder, Bob Lemon, who actually is a top health, wellness, and skincare advocate, was the foundation of what we based our company upon. Plus, we have a wide variety of products with about 100 different products to choose from. So you're guaranteed to find something that you can definitely use for you. And what's most amazing is that you will see some of the most awesome reviews on the results that people are getting and the way that's making them feel and look. This is something to be proud about. When you talk about a global expansion, all the ways from the Atlantic Ocean to the Indian Ocean, we are actually already up and running in 65 different countries. Now think about that for a second. What would you have to do if you wanted to start today and start to branch off with the licensing, the distribution, and everything that is all taken care of for you? Here's something that's really unique that I guarantee you're gonna love. You don't need an initial investment to get started. That's right, it costs nothing to get started in our company. They have one of the most awesome compensation plans that pays back to the field up to 61%. Now that's cool. We have the low monthly overhead of 40 IP. That stands for international points, which equates to about $55 to $70 a month. Now here's something everybody in business should be very, very excited to know, is that you can be profitable in your first month if you choose to. And I don't know where any business in any of your areas that you can actually run a very, very successful business for under 70 bucks. Let me show you how you can become profitable in your first month. Let's say this is you, okay? And remember, we want to find people that want something. Now let's say you became active at 40 IP and you found 3 other people that got active along with you. In other words, they wanted to get their business up and running. This would equate to about $150 that is paid back directly to you. That's cool. Now let's take it just one step further. Now let's make this super simple and real for you, okay? Catch this. Do you think that we can find one person a month and teach that one person to do the exact same thing, which is find one person a month? Of course you can. What happens over the course of time, after 1 year, you would be getting an override over 4,000 people. And the simplicity is this. All you had to do was get one person a month. Now think about this. Getting an override over 4,000 people, what did you do? Over the course of the year, you found 12 people total. That's it. Now understand this, if 40 IP doesn't seem like a lot, what happens is it adds up. Let me give you an example. If the 40 IP was the minimum that every single person did, you would be receiving a royalty check each and every month over $10,000 to $15,000 a month. Now understand this, what would you have to do to have equivalent in any field to have $10,000 to $15,000 a month coming to you each and every month? You would have to put away at least $1 to $3 million inside of a bank. No, I don't know any other field that you're involved in. I don't care if it's a job or anything else where you can start from scratch today and earn an extra $1 to $3 million, put it away inside of a bank, getting you interest in the tunes of $10,000. I don't know, but I do know that you can definitely do that with us. Let's say if it took you 2 years or even 3 years to have that equivalent, would it be worth it to you? Now, I hope after you've took the time to watch this and viewed everything that we just showed you, that you can see the power of the system and how it works with Life Plus and how you can definitely benefit from it. Right now, you're one of 3 types of people. Maybe you're number 1 type of person that says, hey, listen, you know what? I see this information and it's great, but just for me right now, the timing is just not right. Simply get back to the person that shared this information with you and let them know. But again, you might have thought of somebody that this could be great for. Simply refer that person to the person who referred you this video. We understand that the most important thing is your relationship to the person who referred you this video. Maybe you're a number 2 type person and you're thinking, you know what, I see the whole concept, I see the ideas, let me go ahead and try some of the products and maybe start off as a customer. Excellent. Get back with the person that shared this information with you, and they'll go ahead and set you up and show you everything that the company has to offer. Or maybe you're a number 3 type of person. A number 3 type of person says, wow, you looked at the information, you see how we do everything, you see how we expand, and you say to yourself, wow, I can definitely do this. Then simply get back with the person that shared this information with you. They'll go ahead and send you out the next step to get everything registered and set up to get you up and running. You see, my friend, you gave me something today. You gave me some of your time, but I also took something from you. I took away that ability that someday down the road that you can never ever say, I never had a chance. I never had people or mentors or a culture of people that can work with me on my journey and help develop me as I go through this road. Because you have that chance, my friend, today. Now I want you to ask yourself a serious question. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? If not this, then what? And simply get back to the person that shared this information with you and let them know if you're a 1, a 2, or a 3. And if you're a number 3, I can't wait to meet you in person on a Skype call or on one of our nice vacations somewhere around the globe. Until then, God bless.